Parliament, and apart from being a warm-up act, I'm merely in his slipstream. Gentlemen, first, my name is Nicholas Soames. I'm the Member of Parliament from Mid-Sussex. The reason that I'm here is that not only have I been supporting Nick as part of these plans extend into my constituency, but also because were this catastrophic proposal to go ahead, the impact on my constituency as well as on yours in terms of infrastructure and all the other issues that Nick has so carefully and cleverly raised tonight would impact on Mid-Sussex as well as here. So I am here to support Nick, and I want to thank LAMBS and its excellent work, and in particular everything that Jeff has done so brilliantly to put together the cohesion which Nick so rightly identified to take on this very bad proposal. And for arranging not only this meeting, but a meeting I think it was about 4 years ago, actually 6 years ago, when we also had a very big turnout to discuss this issue when we decided to take this proposal away and try and get rid of it for good. But it has reappeared, and it's very important that this meeting should take place. And I want to congratulate everyone who's taken the trouble to come tonight, on taking the trouble to come, showing that you really do mind that this is a really important local issue, and to send a very powerful message to these very bad people. I don't propose to speak for very long, in fact much shorter than I was even going to believe here, because no one could make this case better than Nick Herbert already has. But you should know that he and I are totally in complete agreement that this is an appalling proposal, opportunistic, ill thought out, and I agree with every word he said, and I applaud the power and the passion with which he said it tonight. We have together worked very closely, and it hardly seems that this has been going for 6 years, but we both appeared at the public inquiry in Horsham on behalf of you and on behalf of the Arundel and South Downs constituency and of Mid-Sussex in front of the planning inspector to make known our very grave concerns about it. We've both had debates in the House of Commons which have been answered by successive ministers. We have lobbied successive housing ministers about this proposal. And I think it's fair to say that ministers are in no doubt at all that there is absolutely no support whatever for Mayfield's plan down here, and that they need to bear that in mind. Now, I want to agree also with what Jeff and Nick said, that it's wrong, obviously, to be against housing development. I don't think there is a surgery, a constituency surgery that I have, where there is not someone who comes in desperation about housing of one sort or another, whether it's for themselves, for their children or whatever. It is, as you all know, one of the most serious issues facing this country. My constituency includes the Riviera of the South, Burgess Hill. And although Malcolm was fairly disparaging about it, it is a very marvellous place, and it has recently, it is taking an enormous development of over 4,000 houses in the northern arc, but that was an agreed proposal, agreed by the local community, put together in a very transparent, clear way, now financed by Homes England with all the infrastructure and everything needed, with all the infrastructure that is needed for this development to provide 4,000 well-needed homes. That is not what this is about here. We know that there is urgent demand for housing in the South East. And both Mid-Sussex District Council and Horsham, as Nick said, have got a very difficult job ahead of them, and they will and are playing their full part. But all of us, and the message has gone and will go out very clearly tonight from here, that all of us will fight to see that development must be sustainable, environmentally acceptable and containable, not excessive, and that it must protect the marvellous local character of this wonderful part of the world. Now, what is proposed by Mayfield breaches all standards of sustainability. It would leave you, your constituency, your town, my constituency, my towns, my rural areas, with the most appalling problems of infrastructure, schools, employment, transportation, medical services, flood alleviation, and all the many issues that are live in an application of this type. And I repeat, so that you all know this, that neither Nick Herbert nor I, who both of us grew up and in the countryside and loved it, came into politics, in my case, 36 long, weary years ago, to see good agricultural land covered in concrete. There is absolutely no case for this highly opportunistic proposal for the Mayfield development, and all of us here tonight will move heaven and earth not to allow it. It is a real and present threat. You need to be aware that it will not and it must not be allowed to stand. And finally, in conclusion, I want to echo very strongly what Nick said about in his conclusion. It isn't good enough just to assemble at these great meetings and take the trouble to come out, to campaign, tie yellow ribbons around everything. It was actually a very clever campaign. To find lots of newts and bats and all the rest of it. You have to mount a really professional and serious campaign. These are very serious professional people. And they will only be dealt with properly if we mount a really proper, well-funded campaign. And I know that later on this evening there will be a further appeal for funds. It is vital that we fund this campaign properly. I don't think that Mayfields could be at all confident. Seeing this wonderful church full of good people who are absolutely determined that their part of the world will not allow such a wicked and opportunistic proposal. Thank you very much.